Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Welcome to Unveiled, a show that comes to you every Wednesday, 8 to 9 p.m. I'm your host, Joe Wisdom, always happy to host you from Elevate TV. In Unveiled, we say we are here to empower the man, restoring the man back to his original place in God. Men must be empowered, and a society that has not empowered its men definitely becomes an endangered species. We cannot let our men go down because we know that a man is the pillar of society. God created man from the beginning, and from man he gave dominion, he gave authority, and he commanded him to reign and to rule. We are here to take our place. Some of the things that you see men going through today is because men have been edged out of their place, possibly by challenges, and that is why today or tonight we are here to look at those challenges. Our topic tonight is the twists and turns in the marketplace. I know there are people who are dancing out there, dancing in loans, dancing in different places, receiving calls from different service providers, and sometimes you can even run mad. We have our guest tonight who is helping us delve into that subject. He is a marketplace champion. He is a marketplace minister. And I know we have not recovered from a breakfast meeting that we had dubbed Marketplace Empowerment Breakfast. And I want to thank you, all those who turned up. Apostle Charles, I want to invite you once again.
Thank you.
Even as I appreciate that you have been so gracious to us to come and just share your wisdom and the way that the Lord has helped you walk into the marketplace, make mistakes, correct, go down, bounce back.
Yes.
And I think that is why God has allowed you to become an authority in the marketplace. Look at this camera, say hi to us, and let us know what it is that we expect today.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you so much, Apostle Joe, for hosting me again in this wonderful show, even as we continue to deliberate on the issues of challenges in the marketplace. I'm very delighted to see people going through the difficulties and bouncing back and walking with them. That is the thing that gives us fulfillment. After having tremendous and challenging experiences in the past, we come to realize that God took us through these things so that we may be able to help other people. So welcome to the session tonight, and we look forward to a wonderful time. Thank you, Apostle Joe.
Wow, thank you. I'm excited because the topic of the marketplace is like your cup of tea. I have met several people who have said you have walked with them. You are mentoring them in business. And because we want to mix this with your journey in life, maybe you can begin by helping us understand where are you coming in terms of business. Are you still in the marketplace, or you used to be in the marketplace? Because our viewer is interested to know who is Apostle Charles.
Right. Apostle Charles Maina is trained as a civil engineer in the Kenya Polytechnic, but also grown up in business. And so I'm full-time engaged in the marketplace as well as ministry.
Okay.
So the blessing that God has given me is to understand how to carry out the balance of the two. I'm very much involved in business, in logistics, in real estate, and also in other forms of partnership in hospitality, and we do various types of businesses. So I have an idea in those dimensions.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow, karibu sana. And we had a marketplace empowerment breakfast, and you are able to bring light to so many things. And we are here, and I said before, we have not yet recovered from that meeting. Because people are still writing to us, we are receiving good feedback. And today we'll be scratching the surface on what happened in the breakfast so that you too can also come prepare for the next meeting on November. There's another breakfast coming on November. I want to also inform you that we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live on your screens. Please continue sharing this link, continue talking to fellow men. Let them know that a topic that touches on their life tonight is being aired. Let them know. There's a man who is in the house, sometimes thinking of, taking away his life just because of things that he is going through. We are here to let you know through our guest tonight that it is not over until it is over.
Exactly.
Now, define to us what is the marketplace, because there are some people who are saying, I'm employed, I'm a banker. Others are saying, I'm in the hospitality industry. What do we mean? What does it mean to be in the marketplace?
Thank you so much, Apostle. The marketplace is simply from that word market and the place.
Yes.
And a market is where transactions take place. It's a place where people exchange goods and services for money and for an income.
Yes.
Maybe in the earlier days, people would exchange goods in the marketplace in terms of barter trade. But now we deal with currencies, we deal with money. And that place is unique to every individual. If he who is a professional, even a doctor, is in the marketplace.
That's true.
And it's very interesting sometimes to tell people that a doctor is a businessman.
Yeah, of course.
Because if he was treating for no returns,
yes,
then again he would not be that professional.
That's true.
So everyone is involved in the marketplace in one way or another. Even a teacher, they're teaching from a marketplace dimension. They're delivering a service or a skill or knowledge to students, but it is still within the context.
They are being paid. They are getting a pay for it.
They get a return for it.
So there's exchange of, people mostly look at marketplace like a place of exchange of goods, but they don't remember that services also come in there.
Right.
Goods and services.
Yes.
But people don't put so much attention into the services.
Yes.
And what people are in the banking are doing, they are providing services for a fee.
Yes.
So I think you are correct to say that every person is in the marketplace.
Correct.
Even our guys in the media, they are in the marketplace.
Absolutely.
The fourth estate. Is it the fourth estate?
Yes, they're called the fourth estate.
The fourth estate.
They are all in the marketplace.
Whether you are in employment or you are in business, you are in the marketplace.
Yes.
I think that's something that our viewer need to know.
Yes.
Now, what are the challenges that are there in the marketplace? Because you have been in the marketplace for a long time. Maybe you can highlight a few challenges that you personally have encountered, and possibly because the marketplace is just the same. Industry might be different, but challenges are the same.
They are the same.
Which are these challenges?
Primarily, before even we go to the advanced challenges,
Yes.
I would look at the aspect of our perception. So you come to the marketplace ill prepared.
Oh.
For example, you have left school. You are not prepared that now when you get out there, you are actually entering into the marketplace. And there you require to be street smart, as they call it.
Yes.
There are things that you don't learn probably directly from the school. You learn from the marketplace as you begin to engage and to involve. So one of the key challenges is men who arrive in the marketplace, sometimes with very high expectations. You come thinking, now I have made it. Let's even go to those who are graduates. They have gone through levels of professional training. So you come into the marketplace with high expectations. You will expect to see that within the 1 year, I have a house, I have a car, and probably I'm dating a very good lady, almost getting married. But you are not prepared for the realities on the ground. So when you come to the ground, you find it is not what you thought. It is not what you expected. There are some realities that are not covered, sometimes in theory. There are some practical things that you begin to engage in the marketplace. So one item or one dimension is being ill prepared for the marketplace. Entering there with wrong mindset or wrong perspectives. And that is why you find young people getting frustrated because they expected, once I'm done with school, number one, I'm getting a job. Number two, I'm starting my own business. Number three, I'll begin to roll and swim in money. That doesn't happen for 1 year, 2 years, one begins to get frustrated. Yes.
Now, because you are an engineer,
Yes.
do you feel like our current system of education, let me not say current, our system of education, do you feel like it's preparing entrepreneurs? Is it preparing us for the marketplace?
I would say that question can be addressed in two ways.
Yes, sir.
But more so, there's a lot of head knowledge, a lot of theory acquired. So sometimes we are not prepared for the actual hands-on. Two, the second side of it, our education system was crafted in long times, in maybe pre-independence,
yes.
and it was tailored for people who are to be employed. In fact, to be employed sounded to be a very noble thing. What do you call it? White collar jobs. White collar jobs. So my child is going to school, so they'll be employed. And you discover now in the current understanding that is not the ultimate, because even those who are employed are trying to seek how to prepare themselves to exit employment and become employers. So our education system may have had a limitation, but now the CBC, thank God for CBC, I think it's taking a new turn, and children are now being mentored and crafted to become hands-on and more agile and more productive and more solid in the marketplace. Thank you.
What are some of the experiences when you left college?
Yes.
Did you go looking for a job, or did you dive into business? What were your expectations, and what did you find on the ground?
After finishing training,
yes,
I hung around in Nairobi for a while.
Looking for a job?
Looking for a job.
Okay.
I remember going to Williamson Tower House was being built at that time. And I went there and presented myself severally, and I could not get a job. I went back home, and home were people who are involved in business. And so I went now full-time into business.
Can we say then that you didn't get into business out of passion? It was a fallback plan?
Yes.
Not because you didn't like business, but because your mind was, like you said about mental preparedness, your mind was settled that I've gone to school, I need a job.
Yes, there was that part of, I've trained in this area, yes, I would like to get a job in that area. But you see, at home, if you're in business, yes, just like the children of a farmer, they begin to learn, learn
yes,
farming naturally, because holidays you're involved in that. So that is what has helped me to enter into business, make losses, fall and discover very many things, and that is part of my development.
You know, because I want us to buy so much from your journey, because I've listened to your journey, and I know there are some young people, young entrepreneurs, some of them have been there for some time. They will also want to pick up some lessons from your journey. Right. What advice can you give to someone who is leaving college,
yes,
feeling like I've done engineering, I'm an accountant, I've done business administration, and my job has been looking for a job?
Yes, they say tarmacking is a job. Even tarmacking is a job.
I want you to just give a piece of advice to that young man, that young lady.
Yes. Yes. Young man, young lady, I would advise you that you may not have to spend all your life tarmacking. Why not also consider starting something? And startups are very good. They have their challenges, but you can always grow a business from scratch. We have tried that. We've started many different projects and businesses and grown them gradually, seen people starting and work with them. And you enter into the marketplace and become an authority, and become even an employer. So such that at some point you'll be wondering, what was I looking for in employment? So there is always another plan in terms of growing and going out into the marketplace. So you may not have to spend all your life looking for a job. submit those CVs, applications, but you can always tell right now, even the market itself and the employment is now changing.
Yeah.
So let's go, let's do business.
Wow. Again now, there are some young men who have been brought up in a family business.
Yes.
But after graduating, the father possibly is pushing them, or the mother is pushing them to get into family business as the hope of perpetuity of the same business. But there, I know some young men who are saying, that is not what I want to do. My dad, my mom is pushing me into their business. That is their business. I want to go to chant my own way, my own path.
Right.
What would you say about that? Did you feel like you became a victim of your family has a family business and you must align? Or what can you tell a young man who feels like, why are you pushing me into this business of yours?
You make me want to laugh because
Yes.
that is the journey and the process of every young person.
All right.
What happens is as you are growing, the development stages of a young person, there is a time
Yes.
when you know everything. When you know everything, and that is between the age of probably 18
Yes.
to 35.
Yes.
When you hit 36 is when you discover I know nothing. Now I need help. That is when you begin.
Mistakes,
That is when you become a
Yes.
scholar of the school that says,
Yes.
I know many things, but there are many things I don't know. Why am I saying this?
Yes.
When growing up, because of being made to do this business by your parents,
Yes.
not because you are seeing the whole of it, the whole picture, you are doing it as a duty.
Okay.
So you want a way out. So sometimes the other communities develop a way of mentoring their children
yeah.
into the process. In our African society, we were told, go and do.
Yes. And you are not being paid
And
for
if
it.
you ask, you're in trouble. You get no allowance. Your allowance is the food you're eating and the bed you're getting and the sleeping.
Yes,
So you want something out there. And you want to go and be like the other young people. But those who are wiser, I would say this. Those who are wiser, they grow up their businesses to another level.
Wow.
And they take on the reins.
Wow.
But it is very few. Very few. Again, something we may have said here another time
Yes.
is this. What is the strength? What is the configuration of that person?
Okay.
Is that person a business man? Is he a commercial person? Or is he crafted for a different line in the market? So again, if you force them, you may not get the desired results.
Wow. Do you feel, because I know you are also raising some young men, do you feel that there is a responsibility for parents who are in business to mentor their sons and their daughters into growing through the business? Do you feel there is a responsibility, or you just let them like it or not like it, none of your business? Is there a way we can mentor our sons, our daughters into liking what we do?
Yes. By first and foremost, that dimension of mentorship and parenting requires friendship.
Okay.
A good relationship will help you draw your child into the way you'd want them to be. Let them see the pros and cons of what you do every day and show them that this is what helps us to do 1, 2, 3. This is what enables me to take you to school. This is what enables us to live in a certain way. So they begin to appreciate that, and they will want to learn those ropes.
Wow.
But on the other hand, if we take the forceful route, they may do it. Let me give us an example that was written in an article I read sometime, where parents forced their daughter to study medicine. The brain was there.
Yeah.
The power to learn was accurate. That child went through school, finished medicine, but that is not what she wanted.
It was not her passion.
Not her passion, not her desire. So when finishing, she brought the degree and gave it to the parents. Here it is. This is what you wanted. But as for me, I want to go and do something else.
All right.
So that shows a disconnect. So, and that means the child had not bought into the vision of the parents.
Yeah.
And the parents many times.
Had not
allow me
listened
to
them.
say this.
Yes.
Many times we parents want our children to become what we wanted and they did not become.
I agree. You are revenging through your child.
Yes. You are pushing, you're pumping what you wanted to become into that child. And that may not necessarily be the call for them.
You know, as you say that, I remember my dad really pushed me to take accounts. Years later, may his soul rest in eternal peace. Years later, I find some papers and some books of his attempts in the same accounting. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he failed. Because he was doing it through correspondence, the really? ACCA.
Yes.
So I saw, you know, he did not pass, and because I did not understand why was he really pushing me, and I was not feeling like accounting was my thing. Mm-hmm. But he was really into, Joe, I know you can do it. Actually, he used to motivate me a lot. Joe, you can do it. I know you are a bright boy. Yet in mathematics, I got a strong D. Yeah. You know the strong D. Yes. We used to call it Daudim Saraba. And I used to tell people, the good thing about that D, it had something positive on it.
Yes, it had a positive.
It was a D plus. But my dad really believed in me. Mm. And can I tell you, I did accounts and passed those exams.
You see?
Sometimes it takes that confidence.
Right.
Sometimes it takes the courage of someone to tell you that you can make it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know, people don't fail because they are stupid. Mm-hmm. There's no mother who gave birth to a stupid child.
I agree with you.
Every child is a genius in their own way. Mm. It's only that we have not tapped into their areas of passion. We have even seen other people doing some amazing things. Some of them are dancing. Some of them are singing. Yeah. Some of them are computer wizards. They are very good in technology.
Right.
And now this brings the question, Apostle Charles. Now that we are interacting with our children, and we need to help them.
Yes.
Do you want to tell me, Apostle Charles, that God can give you 3-4 children, and none of them is interested in what you are doing? Because we have seen doctors, who have built an empire, maybe a very big hospital, yeah. But at the end of the life of that man, there's no one to take over that business. What are the dynamics?
That is a very, very subjective in a sense, mm-hmm. But it is possible to have children mm-hmm. who do not want to do mm-hmm. what you are doing. Mm-hmm. But if you have 4, mm-hmm. at least there is a likelihood you will get 1.
Yes.
And even if you have 2, there is a possibility you will get 1 mm-hmm. who will want to do what you are doing. Mm-hmm. But even then, there is a way you can bring them on board mm-hmm. so that if you are doing that kind of a business, mm-hmm. they are able to have an oversight, mm-hmm. even yes. if not directly yes. involved in the day-to-day operations. Mm-hmm. You can actually wow. involve them wow. in the oversight. Mm. If you have a board of management, let wow. them be part of it.
Part of it, yeah.
Let them be part and parcel of it.
Yeah. Because a lot of parents are very frustrated.
Yeah.
You spend your years as an engineer building an engineering firm, an engineering company, you have employed people, none of your child is interested. And that's why I was bringing the aspect of mentorship. Because I feel like if you made this child part of what you are doing from the beginning, you cannot introduce them when they are already grown up, when they have already made decisions, when they have already found other mentors who are in music mm-hmm. and DJing. Yeah. And that's also a good job. Yeah. But I feel like we need to do a lot of work on mentorship, and especially working with our children. We must involve them. We must involve them. I want us to get to, before maybe we go for a break, Apostle. What is the other frustration that people are going through in the marketplace?
Now, when somebody begins, let's look at the marketplace in the sense of business or even service provision.
Yes.
Because ultimately, whatever one is doing, you will end up forming a structure or a vehicle that you may need to offer those services and interact to interface with
Yes.
your clients,
Yes.
so to speak. That is the accurate position. So in that starting, there are places where sometimes one may go wrong by starting in the wrong footing. What do I mean by that? You start from wrong information.
Oh, okay.
So you want to start a business, you start a business from the wrong choice, the wrong locations, or wrong advice.
Yeah.
You saw something working somewhere, then you think it can work in another location, and you don't do proper feasibility studies. Those are some of the things that lead people into problems. And in particular, that which has become a very major issue is something called debt.
Wow.
Debts are destroying people. And debts are coming because of the way you start your business. Sometimes it's a wrong choice of business, wrong locations, wrong market perspectives, unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like, for example, who knew or who would have told you that in the year 2020, 2021 we would have COVID?
Yeah.
You see, that was an unforeseen scenario.
Yeah.
And to date,
We have not recovered.
there are people who have not recovered. There are institutions
Even
that
as a nation.
Even as a nation. Even the institutions that never went back. So these are challenges that we have in the marketplace.
Wow.
But again, that is not the end of all. That is one side of it. The other part of it is when you start a business and you begin to get income, the distinction between your money and the business money is very important. So sometimes you divert your resources.
That happens every day.
It happens a lot, and it can cause a lot of loss, cause a lot of frustration, because now you think the business is not profitable.
Yeah.
Some businesses require time before you begin to draw from them. And that's why sometimes it is always good to have an alternative source of income, or even that employment. People we have worked with are people who have been in employment and then starting a business on the side.
A side hustle.
A side hustle. And grow it to a level that it can be able to accommodate you when you come out of employment.
I want
That
us to
transition is very important.
I want us to hold it there because we are coming back, but I want us to get a break. We are coming back. We'll be looking at that side hustle and how you can manage that transition.
Right.
Keep it at a bit.
Looking to build passive income? Imagine owning a property that generates income while you passively sleep. Naivera specializes in empowering investors like you to achieve just that through investment in affordable rental apartments. Join the ranks of smart investors who are building wealth through income-generating assets, that is affordable rental apartments. The good news is that you can manage your investment hustle free on your mobile phone. We are currently selling Membley Heights. The apartment has ample parking, high-speed lift, 24/7 security, and spacious units with high-quality finishes. With just 1.89 million, you can secure this investment, which offers a return on investment upwards of 10% annually. Usiachwe nyuma. Take action now and start your journey towards wealth creation. Talk to us today on 0798 999 000 or 0115 169451. Explore a world of knowledge at Elevation Bookshop. Dive into topics like marriage, money, and spiritual growth with our vast reading materials. But that's not all. We are thrilled to introduce new additions like stationeries, notebooks, modeling clay, dictionaries, pencils, kamusi, and more. And calling all students, gear up for success with our back-to-school items, providing you with everything you need to excel in every subject. At Elevation Bookshop, we're here to assist you in finding the perfect resources for your journey. Do you have specific preferences or looking for something special? Visit us at Kenya Cinema Plaza, mezzanine floor, or contact us on 0748 902 225. Elevation Bookshop. Enrich your life.
Yes, welcome back, and the conversation is running even after the break, and we are excited to handle this topic, the twists and turns in the marketplace, and more specifically, we want to delve into dealing with the debts, because debt is one of the highlighted challenges. Apostle Charles is bringing the aspect of not able to transit safely, possibly from one trade to the other, maybe from employment to business, and maybe Apostle Charles, I want you to get to go back to that point, the side hustle, and how, because there are so many people who are in employment right now, and they want to get out of employment, and they have started some businesses, and instead of making money, they are losing money. So they are using their salary there to pay debts.
Yes.
Actually, they have taken loans,
Right.
to fund a business that is not supporting itself. So instead of having an extra stream of income, they get into, actually they are getting into more debts.
More debts.
And some of the people they have employed are relatives.
Exactly. So the businesses are very volatile.
Yes, sir.
And very intricate in nature. So as you're starting that hustle, if it does not have, I think a hustle may be a bit too rough. Let's call it an initiative. You have started a business initiative.
Yes.
And you're in employment.
Yes, sir.
It's supposed to give you an additional income. Obviously, it will take time before that business, like a child,
Yes.
to grow,
Breaks even.
to crawl, and to begin to give you returns. The problem we normally have, and I experience that, is when you open a business today and tomorrow you want it to give you something.
Yeah.
You put a matatu on the road and you want that matatu tomorrow to buy for you food and
Yes.
to pay your rent.
Yeah.
It can't. Highways make.
Eh,
That it doesn't go that way, because it requires you to put systems in place, let it begin to generate income,
yes.
let it even have sufficient to service itself, let it have some sufficiency of returning on investment.
Yeah,
There's a return on investment which you require. So this person who is working, and you have employed somebody out there to take care of your business, and you are going at a loss, you need to reevaluate what is going on inside there.
Yeah.
And that is part of the things that we would have talked about. How do we enter into debt?
Yes. Yeah.
Number one, or in that regard, you are not sensitive to the flags, red flags in that business. Is there pilferage? Is there theft? Is there misappropriation? Or I can surprise you, there are very many businesses that are very busy, but the owner has no money.
Yeah, that's true.
You enter there, the activities are
Yes.
upscale.
Yes.
People are packed. So you ask the owner, how are you making money, or where is the money? He will tell you, I have no money, because there are other things that go on inside there.
Okay.
Employees sell their own products.
Yeah.
Yours are left there. Employees overprice to get some extra margins. You get the small one, or it is not bought because somebody was asking for something more. All these are things that happen in the marketplace. Procurement is an area where you can lose a lot when it comes to those areas of sales, and also pilferage. Those are the things that bring big things down. Without mentioning names, you can ask yourself, how do certain chains go down?
Perhaps, yes. Yeah.
And they go down with billions. Not one, not two, not three. We have many examples in this country.
That's true.
And you discover there was a lot of loss, there's a lot of misappropriation,
Yeah.
there was a lot of pilferage and all those kind of things. Back to our person,
Yes.
because that is the person we are dealing with right now. So you are there and you can put in some checks. These days we appreciate technology.
Yeah, systems.
Systems to help you run your business and grow it. And as it grows, then you should now be able to see at what level does this business now demand me to leave where I am working to come and work there.
You wait for the business to demand.
To demand you are coming there.
All right.
Although some people make a theoretical assumption, and we have told many people sometimes, don't do, and this even my wife would be a witness, we tell somebody don't quit employment now.
Yes.
But somebody is saying, this thing, if I leave work and I come on it, I want to assure you,
I want to give 100%.
it will give me so much and so much.
Yeah.
But there are so many things you assume or presume.
Yeah.
And many people have done that and ended up wanting to go back to employment.
I agree. There are even people who think that being in business, you have freedom. That I am leaving employment because in employment there is no freedom. Only to get out here and realize you had more freedom in employment than in business.
Than in business. The concept of I'm self-employed.
Yes.
That self-employed needs to be redefined. You could actually be fully employed and more employed than you are, as you have said, in that business.
That's true.
And you have bosses. In business, you know, there you had one boss you are reporting to, a supervisor.
Yeah.
In business, especially when you come to service provision or trade, all your customers are your bosses.
Yeah, that's true.
And they dictate how you will behave and how you respond.
Yeah,
So
I have seen people resigning from employment, but we are not telling you not to resign. It's okay. I resigned, and I can tell you I took the bitter herbs, the bitter cup. I took that. You know, it was challenging because you resign with this mindset that I'll be the next big thing, and I like telling people that. Every business, every vision has 3 levels, 3 phases. The first phase is appearance, where when the vision is very clear, what you want to do. You share it with the friends, and they are telling you you are the next big thing. You are the man with the power of the hour. You are the guy. You can see far. We see what you see. Then after some time, there is another phase called disappearance. You are confused, you are in debt, you are calling people, nobody is speaking your call. You know, those phases. But if you are able to endure that phase, you will soon get into the reappearance. Now you have good common sense. Now you can reason. You are humbled. Yes. You don't look at others like people who don't think, like people who are making wrong decisions. You can understand what people go through. Back to our topic, Apostle. I have seen people get out of employment, get into business, and some of them slide very easily. Yes. Because possibly what they were doing there is what they come doing out here.
Yes.
There's no much of challenges. You know the suppliers. But when it comes to you are doing something different, and having made a mistake, one of the mistakes that you pointed out, you are starting a business because your friend told you there's money in this business.
Yes.
Only to realize that for him, he has 2 clients,
right,
who forms the basis of his sales. Yes. Just 2, not the ones who come in the evening. There is another supply he does. Yes. Those clients don't come in the shop.
Right.
And you are there taking photos with your goods because he told you there is money. You don't understand the dynamics. Yes. Maybe you can help us. What are those? How can we avoid those? If we were to set a business, yes, what kind of a business would you advise? What are the parameters can we consider when you are starting a business?
Thank you, Apostle Joe.
Yeah.
To start a business in any area, first and foremost, it is important to see you as an individual. What are you well informed about?
Wow.
What do you know regarding what you want to do? If you start a business that entirely you're dependent on others to tell you or to inform you, not that it cannot work, but it will take you a long way to before you get into understanding those things or the intricacies of that business. So first and foremost, let it be something. They talk about a low-hanging fruit.
Yes.
What is that thing that you are well able to do you yourself? And without a lot of restraint or difficulties or challenges. Some businesses, if you can be able to start and you are able to do it first before you get the second employee, then you are on a successful trend. But again, we can also agree to start on big scale where you need to involve other people to help
professionals,
you. Professionals. But it is always good to start from that thing or that area where you have something.
You have an idea.
An idea, you have a desire, you have a passion, you have some knowledge about that particular sector. That is one.
Such that you not be fooled, because I have seen people get into the industry and some of their employees who they are depending on are giving them a lot of misinformation. Telling them, employ this person, pay them this much because this is the person we need. What you don't know is that they have a cut on that salary.
Yes. So if you're depending on information from your employees or other sources, then sometimes you are likely to go wrong.
They also keep threatening that they will leave and you increase their salary. Because without them, the business cannot run.
You are blackmailed or held hostage by those kind of people. So to start a business that first and foremost you have knowledge about, you can be able to learn to run the skills yourself, be able to, you know where the market is, you know who are your clients, you know who you are targeting, and where you want to locate yourself. And generally, there's something about business that is within a person.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know whether you may call it a calling or an initiative or intuition that somebody has for business. And that person is well able to succeed.
Wow. So we are saying, in other words, that if you are not good in hospitality, please don't start a hotel. Because one day the chef will not show up. So you might be required to get into that kitchen.
Yes.
So now let's get now into the issue of debt, because that's another concern to many people. I remember during the breakfast, we were able to handle, and people asked about debts.
Yes.
What about debts, Apostle Charles? How do we get into debts and how do we get out of debts? Debt
is a menace.
Yes.
Debt is a killer. Debt is a reality. And data is evident.
Yes.
As a nation, we are in debt. And to the tune of 10 point something trillion. People are in debts. Statistics show that over 6 million Kenyans are in all forms of debts. That is from mobile sources, others in banking, formal or informal. Debts are all over. But if we, as believers, will go back to the beginning, we'll discover that the first man never had a debt.
Adam was debt-free.
He was debt-free.
That's true.
And there was nobody even to borrow from. I've been thinking about that matter so much. The first man God created was not in debt. And he did not borrow. And God did not tell him, Genesis 1:27 says, and God made them male and female, he created them. And verse 28 says, and he blessed them and said to them, be fruitful, multiply, subdue, replenish, and have dominion. Those are the parameters of man.
Wow.
Those are our dimensions.
He was not told to fuliza.
There was no fuliza. God did not say, and fuliza and copper, chap. And the others.
Yes, sir.
There was that, or Mshwari.
Yes.
It was not there. What does that tell us? One, the origin plan of God is that we are not supposed to be in debt. Secondly, it is possible to live a debt-free life.
It's a kingdom reality.
It's a kingdom reality. And God says you shall not borrow, but you shall lend to many nations.
Is it real? Is it possible, Apostle Charles?
It is possible. I think what a man sets his heart to do, he will receive. Just as you believe, I cannot do without debts.
Yes.
It's also possible to believe I can live without.
Yes.
And I have to fight it. And it is a deliberate, conscious, or let me put it this way, it's a conscious and deliberate intention.
Wow.
Especially if you have been that road and you suffered.
Yes.
There are people who come out and surely they make it through.
Yeah.
And they will always tell you, if there's anything ahead, it's debt.
Yeah.
So debt is indeed a reality.
And there are people who have a high appetite for it.
Yes. And especially now when there's a lot of ways of borrowing.
Actually, they are not waiting. They are not letting us borrow. They are enticing us to borrow.
Yes.
They are willing to give us the money
And
before you even fall in need.
I'm laughing because one of the ways people end up borrowing is when somebody offers you that money.
Yes.
Initially, you had no problem.
Yeah.
But the moment they saw that seed, that you qualify for 2 million,
Yes.
you begin now to think, if I get 2 million, this is what I can do.
Yes.
And let me tell you, for the next 1 week, you'll not be having peace.
I agree.
And what you don't know, or what people don't know, is that the lenders are in business.
That's true.
And their commodity is money. They sell you money, you return it with interest and at a profit. So you end up in debts. And some of those debts are unwarranted. In business, one of the ways again to enter into debt are those ways when you begin to borrow beyond your capacity to pay.
Wow. Those are common mistakes people make.
Yes.
Common money mistakes.
Oh yes. When you begin to craft accounts to show that you can actually borrow up to so much.
People are cooking a lot of statements.
You cook figures.
Yes.
And you're given more money than actually your business can sustain or be able to pay. And when you're thinking that if I take, I will do an extra thing. Let's challenge ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Can you do that thing you wanted to do prior to inviting that money into your system? There were people who were doing well until when they were introduced to debt.
Yeah, that's true.
And the businesses began to face challenges. So that is a real issue. And debts are causing problems in homes.
Yeah.
Debts are causing relationships to be broken. And there's still people who are entering into debt even now to sustain a life that is not practical.
That's true. Out of pressure.
Let me say this, because we've also had those experiences where sometimes it is necessary to shut down.
Okay.
Like that person you were saying, if the thing continues more and more, that example of that person who is in employment, and you are running a business that is running at losses, you pump more, there is a time when you need to make a decision and decide it is good to do away with
I'm closing this thing.
To close shop for a while. Now, the fear of shame that you closed is what keeps some businesses running on debt.
That's true. Yeah.
Where somebody is feeling that if they...
What will people say?
What will people say?
He started and he didn't...
This person was defeated.
Yes.
But they did not know the truth of what is going on inside that establishment.
Yes.
So sometimes it is good to
close shop,
and begin afresh. And now, maybe addressing the issue of debt. If you're in a debt today, I repeat again, don't worry that you are in a debt. Worry if that debt is increasing.
Yes.
Let's begin to face it head on. Number one, take consideration of the whole amount that is you're owing and decide that from now it is not going to increase. If you have anything to dispose to pay that debt, please do. And begin to work your debt downwards.
If you have a plot at Kamuru that is lying idle there or Nanyuki, you can dispose it.
Yes.
And come and clear this debt.
Because ultimately you may lose the
They will come for it.
They will come for it. We lose plus other things.
Yeah.
And that plot will also go.
Apostle Charles, because our time is much gone, why is it too hard for a man to accept that he's down, that he has fallen? Why is it so hard?
It's an issue of ego, where a man believes that to say I have fallen, I am defeated, is
It's not working.
Is a sign of weakness, or it's not working. Saying I'm down, I'm flat, I need help, is not a crime.
Or did we take after God? You know, our God knows no defeat.
But even God, though God says he knows no defeat, we must be in certain parameters to operate in that level
That's true.
of
That's
victory.
True. That's true.
So where did we go wrong? What our contributions? I tell people, God is not responsible for your foolish mistakes.
Okay.
When you make you can't make God responsible for the things that you did wrongly.
Out of ignorance.
Out of ignorance. And he says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And because you have not lacked knowledge, you will be destroyed. So of hated knowledge. So we are saying,
step by step, we first list down the debts that we have.
The debts that you have. Begin now to work on them downwards.
Okay.
Have a portfolio.
Okay.
Treat this debt like something which is a matter of life and death or salvation.
Yes.
So if it is 100,000, let it begin to go to 98.
Okay.
Let it go to 95. Another thing you need to do, scale down on your consumption.
We list down, then we scale down on our lifestyle.
Yes, adjust your lifestyle.
So if you are doing pizza, we do ugali in the morning.
Yes.
Yenye ilibaki jioni.
Yeah, correct.
All right.
Change some things. Actually, some things you discover, you only do to please yourself, thinking there are people who are seeing you. And they're not paying attention. Sometimes, you may want to keep 2 cars, 3 cars. Why? And you're in debt.
And you can only drive one at a time.
One at a time.
Yes.
But the others are for when people visit.
It has insurance.
Yes. And it has other costs.
That's true.
So it's for people when they visit home, they see you have a fleet of vehicles.
Wow.
So get rid of them.
Wow.
And there are many things.
So you can dispose some of the assets that are not so much needed.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 2, cut down on your expenses.
Yes.
Number 3, change your environment.
Explain.
Change your environment means
I relocate.
That may be one.
Okay.
But changing your environment also means changing your company. The
okay.
people you're hanging around.
I get you.
Sometimes you may be hanging around people who advocate for debt.
All right.
All the time. They encourage you. There's an English saying that says, misery likes company. Misery loves company. So because I'm in debt, I want to hear you're also in debt.
Yes.
In fact, they encourage each
You
other.
comfort each other.
Yes. Yako ni 200, yangu ni 500.
Mimi hata sina shida. Wacha hata niongezee.
That's not the way to deal. You need to change your environment, change the people you are working with, change your attitude towards debt.
Okay, the attitude now.
That should have actually come as number 1. Despise debt. Don't like debt at all. Hate debt. Wow. Then ultimately, as you begin to work on those dimensions, you're cutting down on cost, you're changing your environment. Relocation may be one. Sometimes. Why do you want to continue staying in a house where you're paying 20,000 and it is not yours?
Or in an estate.
Or in an estate. Why can't you relocate to a place where you'll pay 10,000 and use the difference to mitigate on your debt?
Wow.
That's a relocation. Sometimes it may mean if you are purely in business. I was talking to somebody I know who was doing very well in business, and his business went down. But now they are in another town, and they have started afresh. And he told me they are doing very well, but they had to go down.
I also relocated, sir.
Oh, wonderful! Welcome.
So what you are sharing is phronesis, practical wisdom.
Yes.
I relocated from Nakuru.
Right.
Because I felt what I wanted to do. I had left the oil industry and I needed to do trainings.
Yes.
And that business was not favorable in Nakuru because people knew me as a businessman in terms of selling oil, fuel and all these other things.
Yes.
And right now, now I'm coming out as a trainer.
Right.
Nobody could pay me.
Oh, of course, they say the prophet has no honor in their village.
Yes.
So
I relocated. So what you're saying is true.
So relocate, change environment. Even sometimes may not be even relocating from the town, even within certain centers to different places. it is important.
Go to a place, if you go to Mama Boga, nobody will notice.
Yes.
If you're running away from shame.
Yes.
Because again, you don't want to embarrass your wife, your children.
And actually, some places where you're not known, you save more.
Thank you.
This place where you're known, everybody is waiting for you. Give me
class,
something, help me this, that. So you can start off afresh in a new environment.
Yes.
The other thing that is very important for us as believers, take care of your tithing. Take care of your offering, take care of your relationship with God. That can be a political statement, but let's leave it up to there.
Yes.
So that I'm able to say the next thing.
Sure.
The next thing is, we mentioned this at the breakfast, and it is a very significant dynamic.
Yeah.
Locate your David.
Wow.
The people who came to David in 1 Chronicles chapter 12, they were in the book of 1 Samuel, I think, the scriptures. These people were in debt.
That's true.
They were in distress,
yes.
and they were discontented.
That's true.
When they came to David.
They were nobodies.
And they were
struggling.
They were struggling. And David himself was a fugitive.
That's true.
Because he was running away from Saul.
Yes.
So, but David carried something. Interesting, because
a grace.
David signifies several things. David is a grace.
Wow.
David is a mentor. David is a person who creates an environment for you to hear the instructions of God.
Wow.
Locate your David, because the scriptures say now in 1 Chronicles 12 towards the end, it says these same people came to David and they became like the army of God.
Wow. The strong men of David.
The strong men. They were transformed.
Wow.
Who is your David? Who is speaking to you?
Wow.
Who are you opening up to? Who are you telling that I'm in distress? I am discontented. I'm in debt. Because people don't want to show everybody their nakedness. Who is your David? Once you locate David, he will walk with you through the process.
What a powerful place to end this show. Locate your David. Are you in debt? Are you discontented? Are you stressed? Every man needs another man. It takes a man to get the best out of another man. I want us to end our show there, but not without giving you an opportunity to say where we can find you. Some people would want to hear this more.
Absolutely.
Do you have programs that possibly where people can interact with you?
Yes.
In 20 seconds, please tell us where you can find you.
Thank you so much, viewers. And we would like to invite you to our resource center at Kahawa Sukari, 2nd South Avenue, Garissa Road. The Origin Resource Center, branded talk. That is a place where we can be able to receive you, counsel you, consult with you, and walk with you through this journey. We show you the 4 pillars of God. That is the pillar of wealth creation, the pillar of saving, the pillar of spending, and the pillar of giving. Welcome.
What a blessing, what an evening. May the Lord bless you even for staying tuned. Continue offering us this support. We continue bringing shows to you that edify and adds value to your life. Until next time, have a good night.